So I'm going to do this. Okay, it's back up, so that was 25-23, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
This is 24-20, and we put 25.
Oh, yeah, it's 25. There you go.
Okay. Should be good. Okay. Monetized. All right, we're back. We're good. Come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. My goodness. So sorry for the technical difficulties. You know, as you can see, we're playing inside a football stadium right now, and internet connectivity is a little bit of an issue. So we're hoping we got it resolved for the rest of the match. Thanks for joining us. We got Ascension and Rukkus here for you. Rukkus took set one, a very entertaining set, 25-23. We are sorry that most of you missed that, but we're hoping to cut some of the footage up together. Together later. We've got it from another camera view, so hopefully in the replay everyone can get the full match experience. But here live, set number 2 coming your way. Phoenix in purple on the far side of your screen. Rukkus out of VLA Tier 2 and Southern California on the near side of your screen in black. Oh, actually, we will be switching sides after all. There's some confusion about that. This match was great. The first set was great, very, very competitive. And I expect the same for the rest of this best 3 out of 5 set match. So a lot more volleyball coming your way. This match, another match later, and then all weekend long with 4 matches tomorrow. I'm Rob St. Clair. Thank you guys for joining us again. And we are coming right back at you with set number 2. No lineup changes for either team, it would seem. Ascension is going to start receiving in rotation 6. First look at number 11 in purple, Serge Nadazhdin out of Long Beach State University. A huge piece for the Phoenix Ascension that they were missing back at the Kickoff Classic in July, alongside Joe Kawiakamo, of course, whose name you're going to hear all weekend long. Brian Lewis as well, the lefty, number 3 in purple out of the back row. A big option all over the floor for Phoenix. It's going to be Jeff Schmitz, the Rukkus setter, starting us off serving. This is Nadazhdin against 2 big blockers. Beautiful diving play by Como. Palos over the top of the block. Did he get a touch? No, none detected. Nice play there by the libero, number 21 in red, Garrett Kamizarek out of University of Hawaii, nicknamed Como. We'll call him that all weekend long. Nice play, but Rukkus couldn't take advantage. Good hand pass by Palos. He'll get this ball on the right side, down the line, dug by Itsugiri off the tape. Lewis on the right side is rejected by Wexter. Michael Wexter, number 1 in black. Suburban Chicago native, but had a phenomenal career playing opposite at Pepperdine. Played a year professionally in Germany as well. Now local to Southern California during the pandemic, but there's going to be a lot more volleyball out of that guy. Harrington out of the middle, a good block touch, but can't be picked up on the Rukkus side, and that's a kill for number 42 in purple, Taylor Harrington. Out of Arizona State University. His claim to fame is having the first kill in VLA history last summer. Nadazhdin up 2 serving 1 has a good jump spin serve. Working on Palos, perfect pass. This is Wexter. Nice block touch by Harrington. A good opportunity here in transition for Ascension. Lewis out of the back row. On the right side, just out of bounds. Wide of the sideline. Number 22 in black, Jacob Thanen, middle blocker out of Stanford. A good jump server coming here for Rukkus. That's in right on the end line, and I think that's a good call. That was a beautiful serve by Thanen right on cue. Right behind Joe Kawiakamoa and right on the sideline. Nice piece of service pressure, and you can see this venue we're at right now. It is massive. Ceilings are so high, lighting unlike any volleyball gym that any of these guys have really ever played in before. So serving and passing is going to be an adjustment period for both of these guys, but everything looking pretty good so far. What a roll shot by Kawiakamoa, but picked up by Schmitz. Wexter is rejected. Kawiakamoa and Harrington are there. And that's a nice little picture of the high-level volleyball that we're seeing so far here between both of these teams. That was a brilliant roll shot from Kawiakamoa, but an even better defensive read by Jeff Schmitz before the Ascension block was eventually good enough to win that point. And here's the float serve from Harrington. Platform set to Wexter on the right side, tipped over, slapped at by Harrington. Pancake play is made, but the third touch can't be sent over the net. And a smart tip by Wexter, working on the middle blocker, playing left-back defense with no libero on the floor. This is Wexter, a very dangerous jump spin server. Barely kept alive by Izagiri. This is Kawiakamoa out of the system against one blocker, and he puts it away anyway. What a fix that was by number 8 in purple, Joe Kawiakamoa. Out of BYU, an incredible collegiate career as a setter. Then goes to A1 Italy at a couple very high-profile club teams. As a setter, comes back stateside, moves to Arizona, and decides, you know what, I'm going to play some outside hitter now. And he sure is good at that, too, let me tell you. Service there that time by Lewis. This will be number 24 in black, Liam Maxwell, an East Coaster out of Belmont Abbey University. Perfect pass by Izagiri. Olsen tipped out of the middle, and Wexter or Schmitz can't quite make the defensive play. And number 14 in purple, Mark Olsen, 6'7", middle blocker out of Utah Valley University, a huge part of the Ascension offense. He'll run some wacky, unconventional approach paths, and his chemistry with setter Zach Melcher is really something special to watch. This is Wexter out of the back row, another roll shot. Nice read by Izagiri. And there is Olsen right on cue off the block, and that was touched by Nadazdin of Phoenix on its way out of bounds. So that's a rejection and a good block for Rukkus. I think that was Kaveen Vaz who got the meat of that block. And a lucky break as it deflects off Nadazdin and out of bounds. Vaz out of Pepperdine. Good jump serve for a middle blocker here. Right on the net. The joust won by Palos, but kept alive on the Phoenix side. Good opportunity here for Rukkus. Palos cross-court, dug by Izagiri's hands, but into the floor. Nobody on Phoenix can keep it alive. And Rukkus takes a 2-point lead at 7, serving 5 here in set number 2. They already won set 1, 25-23. Vaz misses that jump spin serve that time. And this will be Mark Olsen back to the service line. Curious to see what serve he goes with this match and all weekend long. He's got this big, heavy-armed hybrid serve. But it's very volatile to both teams, to say the least. If he puts it in, it's pretty vicious. Good serve there, and even better pass by Como. Palos high into the hands. Nice block touch dug by Olsen. Sent over on 2 by Melcher, and the pineapple by Schmitz just out of bounds. We saw one of those from him in set number 1 that scored, but that one missed just wide of the sideline. And a big point for Phoenix as they level this thing up at 7. Olsen again, look how he starts sideways with his shoulders perpendicular to the net, turns and tosses 2 hands, ace serve right on cue. What an awesome piece of service from Mark Olsen. That nasty hooking side spin serve right on the sideline. Como, nothing he could do about it. Rotation 6 receive here for Rukkus. You see Jeff Schmitz backing up a little bit to the sideline in case that ball comes towards him again. Oh, barely missed out of bounds. Just long by Olsen that time, but a nice trip to the line for sure. Tied up at 8 apiece. Good competitive set number 2 here. Melcher, the setter, in the front row, along with Harrington and Nadazhdin for Phoenix. Perfect pass by Itzagire. What a block, one-on-one by Michael Wexter. Jumps all the way to the inside to take away Nadazhdin's sharp cross-court angle, and that ball may be set a tiny bit too tight and rejected with authority by number 1 in black. That is a huge move. Rukkus takes the lead at 9-8. As that serve, float serve missed into the net by Jeff Schmitz. Zach Melcher, 6'4" setter, 24 years of age. Went to Cal Baptist, followed by Grand Canyon University here in Phoenix after Cal Bap cut their program. Nice block touch by Lewis, slowing down Wexter. Harrington tips it over, handled by Como for Rukkus. This is Wexter again, and a double contact, I believe, going to be called. Yes, it is, against Jeff Schmitz. And those of you who missed the ending of set number 1, actually the set ended on a double contact against Phoenix. Ended up 25-23 Rukkus, so ball handling a storyline here so far. Wexter tipped over the block, handled easily by Melcher. This will be Itzagire out of system to Kawiakamo out of the pipe. Tipped and kept alive by Como. Who's going to get a good swing out of this? Maxwell out of the pipe again. Itzagire to Nadazhdin this time, and he is rejected by Thanen. Palos there as well. So you're seeing here already some of the veteran offensive choices that some of these pin hitters are making. When they don't feel confident about taking a high, hard swing, they're tipping it into the block, tipping it over the block, doing what they can to keep the play alive, give their teams a chance to keep fighting for the point. Nice block touch there by Rukkus out of the middle. Chance here for Maxwell. Was there a touch on the block? No, oh, yes, there was. A touch is called against the block of Lewis. I did not see one personally. Phoenix sideline not happy about that call, and Rukkus takes the lead. (11-10) in favor of Rukkus. This is Lewis, the lefty on the left side, rattles through the block of Thanen and out of play. Phoenix offensively does not have that many weaknesses, but rotation 1 is one of them. That one rotation when the opposite and the outside hitters switch pins that they're comfortable hitting at. A lot of teams struggle to get out of that rotation, and Brian Lewis, the left-hander on the left side, not a natural spot for him. Thanen tipped into the block but kept alive. Wexter on the right side. He's rejected by Kawiakamoa, thrown back to the floor on the tip. And a nice physical play there by number 8 in purple, the former setter, now getting awfully used to blocking on the left side. He's a difference maker over there. And a lot of off-speed so far from Wexter. Maybe an indication that the connection between him and setter Jeff Schmitz isn't quite there, as Serge Nadazhdin misses that serve badly into the tape. Thanen again had an ace last time, worked down the line on Kawiakamoa, and there's a lot of room there to Kawiakamoa's left. But Phoenix bailed out by the service error again. And they lead 13-12 with Harrington back to serve. Another service error. Harrington not able to figure it out back there so far this match. Wexter's got to serve this ball in for Rukkus. Vaz, Maxwell, and Schmitz, the front row blockers for SoCal. Good serve, but a beautiful pass by Itzagire. Lewis and a setting mistake, I think that time by Melcher. Maybe Lewis just didn't time it correctly. I'm not sure what happened there, but a good pass goes by the wayside for Phoenix. Couldn't be taken advantage of. Rukkus takes the lead by 1, 14-13. Another good serve. This time pass well off the net. The Nadazhdin to Lewis. Off Apollos in the back row, and that'll go out of play. So a nice restorative swing there for the lefty, number 3 in purple, Brian Lewis, who I know is dealing with a little bit of knee discomfort right now. But playing through it, and a nice high, hard rip out of system there. Something that opposites at the professional level like this absolutely have to be able to do. Good hand pass by Maxwell. Vaz crossbody. Diving play made. Can this back be sent over? Yes, it can. Where does Rukkus go here on the free ball? Maxwell high into the hands. A huge play here. Kawiakamoa off of Olsen. High off the hands and dug by Maxwell. Maxwell again, and he's rejected by Melcher. What a play by both teams. And the Phoenix block is good enough. Melcher placing that ball just inside the deep corner. Registering the stuff block, and that is a huge play. Ascension back in the lead by 1, 15-14. Weird joust play there, kept alive on the Ascension side. What a set by Olsen! And no block there, and nobody home against Brian Lewis. A brilliant set by number 14 in purple, and all the momentum right now after those last 2 points on the Phoenix Ascension side. And a smart timeout by Rukkus. Trying to slow down the momentum here. Ascension looking to level this matchup at a set apiece, tied 16-14. For those of you wondering a little bit about this SoCal Rukkus squad, wondering, are they in the VLA? What's VLA Tier 2? What's that all about? I answered some of those questions earlier this week on the Deep Corner Live. But in summary, as a model of growth for the league, we're introducing this Tier 2 idea for the VLA, where teams can kind of play their way up to the VLA Tier 1 level by being included in regular season events throughout this season and beyond, which is a really cool model the league is employing. And a team like Rukkus, at least just based on the eye test right now and the level of talent that they have, is definitely on the fast track to that Tier 1 level if they want to get there. I'm very excited to continue watching them throughout the weekend. And Team Irvine Xtreme, who you're going to see in the next match, in that exact same boat in VLA Tier 2. We're excited for both of those squads and the growth of the league here. Lewis serving out of the timeout. That's Vaz rattled through the block of Kawiakamoa and Olsen, and it falls on the Ascension side. So a nice timeout by Rukkus. They're back within 1. This is Maxwell with the jump spinner. Really good pass by Itsugire. Kawiakamoa crushed through a small seam and down. No doubt about that one. An outstanding pass again by number 1 in black, Jesus Itsugire. 5'8" libero out of Benedictine University here in Arizona. Between him and CJ Suarez, who you'll see later, there's some serious libero talent for Phoenix this weekend. Beautiful pass right on the net, and Vaz again completely over the top of the block. And that is absolutely unstoppable for number 27 in black. Kevin Vaz, French native of Paris, France, but went to high school here in Florida in the States. Played most of his collegiate career at Cal Baptist before that program was cut. So he finished his degree there, took a year off, and then played 1 year at graduate school at Pepperdine to finish his eligibility. A very good player. Good roll shot by Nadazden. A nice read by Paulus. Picks it up. This is Wexter out of the back row. Tipped over. Can Itsugire make the play? The call is yes, he did. That ball is up. Oh, misconnection there. Thanen dug by Vaz. Rukkus here. Got to put some offense together. Paulus over the top. Dug by Kawiakamoa. Nadazden. Sharp cross court. Dug by Paulus again. And finally, the block is good. Melcher and Olsen combining. That was a crazy rally. And I think Rukkus is going to argue here that pancake play by Itsugire, that ball was actually down. I could not tell from where I was sitting. But a smart call by the officials to let that play on. That's the right call in that 50-50 situation, unless you see something from one of your line judges. And a big play there for Phoenix. They now lead by 2, 18-16. Olsen serving again. He's proven to be dangerous so far. Had an ace last time. Working that same way on Como, but a perfect pass. Palos here, cross court. What a play by Nadazden. And a really good touch that time by Harrington on the joust, but not quite good enough as it falls on the Ascension side. And that's a huge side out for Rukkus to stay within 1 here. Getting towards the fun part here, ladies and gentlemen, of set number 2, 17-18. Some high-level competitive VLA volleyball here. A good indication of what we're going to see all weekend long. Set 1 finished at 25-23. Remember, you must win by 2 points. We could be headed for extra points here. We will see. Low pass by Kawiakamo. This is Nadazhdin, and he's rejected by Thanen, who makes a good adjustment on the inside set. And a beautiful seal of the double block for Rukkus levels this set up at 18. Smart locational serving by Jeff Schmitz. That float serve just dropped off the cliff when it passed the net towards Kawiakamo. That's a perfect pass. Harrington tipped over the block in the middle. Pancake play is made by Como. Palos for the lead, and he's rejected by Harrington. Huge block by number 42 in purple, and he needed that after the misconnection offensively between him and Melcher. And some good rotations here coming up for Phoenix. Melcher, a good server with 3 big blockers in the front row for the Ascension. Rotation 1 receive for Rukkus. I like Palos on the right side here. Now this is Wexter on the left, into the block of Lewis, and a big transition opportunity here for Phoenix. Nadazhdin on the left side. What a brilliant high hard swing. Deflects off the fingertips and out of the reach of a diving Maxwell, and that is an outstanding piece of transition offense by the Phoenix Ascension, who now lead by 2 once again, 2018, but can they hold on to it? Perfect hand pass by Maxwell. Wexter again with a tip, but it confuses Lewis just enough to send that ball out of play, reaching back. Big point right here. Rotation 1 receive here for Phoenix. Kind of a weakness of theirs. This will be Nadazhdin on the right side, way out of system. High into the hands of Maxwell. Big opportunity here for Rukkus. Oh, and the missed connection between Schmitz and Thanen negates a very good offensive transition opportunity. And back to a 2-point lead here for the Ascension, with Nadazhdin, a very good server, back at the line against Rukkus' rotation 2. Beautiful pass by Palos. Wexter on the right side. Nice smart swing into the block to be covered right away. Wexter will get another look at this into the block and covered a second time. Como to Maxwell. Nice dig by Melcher. Nadazhdin can have a swing at this. Dug by Como again. Big rally here. Melcher right down the line, or Maxwell, excuse me. Down the line and in, and Ascension begging for a double contact call. None called, and Rukkus stay within 1 here, 20 serving 21. The Ascension sideline is not happy about that no call. But as it stands, Rukkus with the side out and Thanen back to the service line. Can he tie this thing up? He cannot. Big service error there. And the substitution here, number 6 in purple, CJ Suarez. The outstanding libero here for Phoenix, coming in to serve for Taylor Harrington. A smart substitution by Coach Stefan Brule for Phoenix. Harrington has not served the ball well. Suarez going with the jump spinner. Keeps it in play, perfectly handled by Maxwell. Wexter over the block, cross court and in. What a swing that is. That is absolutely unstoppable. And that service sub going to be undone here for Phoenix. That's the Michael Wexter I'm used to seeing. Maybe just needing the ball set to him a little bit higher. But as high as that guy touches, contacting the ball at the top of the antenna, really, able to go over the top of blockers and still hit the court, and that is totally undefendable. Wexter serving, really good pass by Itzagire. Tight set to Lewis, and he couldn't tip it through the block. Missed short into the net, and a little bit of a setting mistake that time by Melcher. Now we are tied up at 22. Huge turning point in this match after Rukkus took the first, 25-23. Wexter again, he's liking this thumb up, hooking serve towards Ascension's position 1 so far. This time working on Nadazhdin, beautiful pass. Lewis again, and the connection not there again. Rukkus with a free ball to take the lead. Maxwell sharp cross court, and he puts it away. And the connection offensively between Zach Melcher and Brian Lewis just not there. The past 2 points, great side-out opportunities not taken advantage of because setter-hitter missed connections. And Rukkus now leading 23-22 is going to trigger the Ascension timeout. Can hear Coach Stefan Brule in the huddle there saying missed opportunities like that are the difference between winning and losing this league. He's exactly right. What Ascension needs to do is continue to pass the ball as well as they have, and I like Mark Olson here in the middle off a perfect pass. Like I mentioned, a favorite of Melcher's as an offensive option, and we haven't seen it that much so far. But they got to pass this ball first, and Wexler is a dangerous server. We'll see if the timeout has any effect on his rhythm. Cuts it short, keeps it in play, and not only does he keep it in play, it's an ace serve with the changeup. What a move by number 1 in black. Not only keeping that ball in play out of the timeout, but even better, beating Chokai Akamoa short, and now after all that, a set point here for Rukkus, 24-22. Brings the heat that time, missed just barely out of bounds, well watched by Nadazden. But that's the easy part for Phoenix, now needing a point on serve to force extras here, and it's going to be Brian Lewis to put it in play. Rotation 4 receive here for Rukkus. Schmidt's the front row setter with Maxwell and Vaz, his front row hitting options. But don't forget about Wexter in the back row. Good float serve working on Paulus's hands. The block by Olsen is good but covered. This is Maxwell again. And just off the block and out of bounds, and that is it. Rukkus comes back from a 1 or 2 point deficit for most of that set and steals set number 2 by an identical score of 25-23. What a match we have here so far. This thing is far from over with as evenly matched as these two teams appear to be so far. There's going to be a lot more volleyball coming your way right after this break. Stay tuned for more VLA action from State Farm Stadium. I want to take this break in the timeout to thank some of our sponsors and partners. Smack Sportswear, our apparel provider. Look how good the Ascension look over there, man. Purple Cactus jerseys are just awesome. Shout out to Smack Sportswear for hooking up the entire VLA with incredible looking on-court apparel. Also, Mikasa, our volleyball supplier. The official ball of the VLA is the Mikasa V200W, the new international standard in leagues all around the world, here included. Shoutouts to Mikasa for their support of our league. And also, of course, the Volleyball Festival is an amazing tournament in the Phoenix area. The Volleyball Festival Fiesta here, held President's Day weekend every year, and moving into about as big of a venue as you can imagine here in State Farm Stadium that hosts NFL Sundays 8 days a year. Hosting about 26 courts of volleyball all weekend long, and there's going to be junior girls playing all weekend long here. But the VLA is very happy to be partnered with the Volleyball Festival and to be a part of this event. So huge shout-outs to the Volleyball Festival for their support of the VLA. We'll see if the teams make any changes here. None immediately that I noticed for Rukkus on the near side of your screen in black. We'll see what happens on the Phoenix side as towards the end of that set, the missed opportunities on good passes from Melcher to the right side to Brian Lewis were a big storyline. Looks like both of them are remaining in the match, along with Kawiakamoa and Nadazden. So the Ascension rolling with their guys and looking to figure out that chemistry and offensive connection to force this match into a set 4. Just about ready for set number 3. I'm Rob St. Clair. Thanks again for joining us live on the VLA YouTube channel. Hit us up in the YouTube live chat if you're watching. Let us know who you're rooting for. Let us know where you're watching from. What a bomb by Palos on the right side. 1-on-1 in rotation 1, and an emphatic start to set number 3. Rukkus gets out of rotation 1 very quickly. Palos after that right side bomb with a good short float serve working on Nadazhdin. This will be Lewis way out of system against 3 blockers. Nice high into the hands and covered easily. Itzagiri to Nadazhdin on the right side, down the line, dug by a diving Como. Nice play. Maxwell high off the fingertips. Kawiakamoa makes the play. Lewis again is blocked and covered. Who's going to score a point here? Tipped over by Nadazhdin, but another diving play is made. Wexter on the right side, off the block and out of play. What a great point of volleyball that was. And Rukkus walks away with it after the crazy footwork and approach path that Michael Wexter had to take to go get to that ball on the right side. That was great volleyball there, ladies and gentlemen. More rotation 1 receive here for Phoenix, and that's a huge deal. Nadazhdin again, hammered down the line. No mistake about that one in rotation 1. That is their go-to guy for the Phoenix Ascension. I love Serge's willingness to hit that ball down the line as a right-hander on the right side. He loves that shoulder action, wrist away. Really nice looking swing. Nadazhdin, a very good jump server. Ascension trailing by 1 here, and right on cue, of course. Service air right into the middle of the net. Jacob Thanen, number 22 in black. Now to serve for Rukkus. Had an ace, a very untouchable ace in set number 2, working on Kawiakamoa down the line. See if that's where he goes again. That time handled really well by Itzagiri. What a block that time. One-on-one, Kevin Vaz. Closing the door on Taylor Harrington. An outstanding reaction. Brilliant move by number 27 in black, and Rukkus looking awfully good here so far in set number 3. 4 serving 1. Just out of bounds on the serve by Thanen that time. Harrington, number 42 in purple for the Phoenix Ascension, has got to figure it out from the service line, at least serve the ball in. That's a good one, working short on Palos. Maxwell hammered down the line, and the Ascension block just a tiny bit late to seal that antenna away from Maxwell. A little bit of the Langle action, the line angle that ends up inside the wing defender. Nice looking offense there, facilitated by Jeff Schmitz and Rukkus. And here's Michael Wexter once again from the service line. Had that ace that pretty much decided set number 2. Kawiakamoa tipped into the block of Vaz, swatted back but covered pretty well. Sharp cross court angle, Kawiakamoa dug by Como. Oh, and a miscommunication there. Free ball sent over. Where does Melcher go here? Kawiakamoa again, dug by Como. Maxwell, can you keep this alive? Yes. Gotta be Olsen, and a hammered wrist away out of the middle. Finally, Mark Olsen getting involved offensively here for the Phoenix Ascension. And if I'm Zach Melcher, I'm feeding big number 14 in purple every single remotely in-system ball until he is stopped. Olsen's got some great range and some great approach path variety to space the offense, a dimension that Ascension's been missing so far. Vaz, really good swing, high off the fingertips to Olsen and out of play. Good question in the chat. Is there room for a sky ball? I think there's room for about 3 or 4 sky balls stacked on top of one another, if I'm being honest. This is such an awesome venue. Maxwell again, shout-outs from an old teammate from New Jersey, again an East Coast guy. Good jump serve there. This will be Kawiakamoa way out of system, tipped over the tape, handled by Maxwell. Vaz setting Palos, throws it through the block, barely kept alive. This will be a free ball sent over by Itzagiri. Vaz on the back one, another diving play by Itzagiri. Another misconnection for Lewis on the right side for Ascension. What a dig, though, but not quite good enough, and Vaz makes them pay. And Ascension needs an answer to that problem right now. The connection between Melcher and Brian Lewis is just not there, and there is absolutely no threat of a right side attack front or back row from Phoenix right now, and that is a crucial dimension of the offense that they're missing. Bump sent way out of system to Kawiakamoa, handled by Maxwell on the Rukkus side. Oh, dumped over beautifully by Schmitz, an outstanding front row setter play. And set number 3 here, all Rukkus so far at 8 serving 3. That's going to trigger a Phoenix timeout, and I would be very surprised if we didn't see a substitution of some kind here. Ascension just has to have that right side dimension of the offense. A lot of chess match sort of decisions being made between these two teams. Very high level, experienced players and coaches on both sidelines. Ascension searching for ways to figure this one out. They're going to keep Lewis and Melcher both in the game here out of the timeout in rotation 4 receive. We also could see Melcher at about 6'4", a very physical front row setter. Could get involved in the offense on his own and throw some down in the front row if he wants to. Maxwell again out of the timeout has played really well so far. Good timeout by Phoenix, forcing the service error. Hey, I don't know who that is running the Team LVC account, but I don't need any of that from you guys unless you send me a couple more free hoodies. I might have to be a little bit biased next time I commentate your matches, okay? Hosley, so be careful over there. Is that going to be another double contact call? Yes, it is. Wow, I'm really surprised by the level of strictness on ball handling here so far. Of course, a ball handling error ended in set number 1, and there were a couple calls that could have gone either way in set 2. Good serve that time by Kawiakamoa, but a perfect pass. Unfortunately missed out of bounds by Kevin Vaz. No touch on the crossbody swing. Kawiakamoa again. Phoenix clawing right back into this thing, down by 2 at 6 serving 8. Service error that time by Kawiakamoa, missing short into the tape. Thanen back into the match. Vaz back to serve. Tries to cut that one short, but a little bit too short. I like that idea of serving the stack on the right side of the court there for Phoenix's rotation 5. But you just got to clear that over the tape. Olsen proven to be a dangerous server so far, and that is a terrible service error into the bottom tape of the net. Ascension got to start serving just a little bit better here. Trailing by 3, Rukkus back to rotation 1 serving, up 10-7. Looking pretty comfortable so far after 2 very narrow wins in sets 1 and 2. What a set by Melcher, one-handed. But overpassed and terminated by Nadazin. Was that ball up? It was called down by our line judge, and I think that's a good call. I think that kind of deflected off the floor and then was scooped up by number 21 in red, Garrett Kamizarek. Rukkus arguing against it, but I do think that was the right call that time. Another service error by Phoenix. That's 3 in a row, and just an unforgivable mistake by Zach Melcher. Perfect serve by Palos. Even better pass. Nadazin on the right side into the block and covered. Nadazin again rolled into Thanen. Hit on 2 by Harrington, but dug by Palos. That definitely underset by Schmitz. Ascension's got to have this point. What a dig by Como down the line, one-on-one. Maxwell high into the hands. Isagire makes the play. Where does Schmitz go here? It'll be Wexter on the right side. Into the block and picked up by Nadazin. Another swing, and finally Phoenix puts it away. I think Nadazin had maybe 5 swings in that rally, and he finally is able to terminate off a crazy scramble play. And that is just an example of, well, not very many great in-system looks for Phoenix that rotation, that particular play, but not a lot of confidence in that offense right now, just from what I'm seeing. Otherwise, you would have seen Harrington in the middle, and you might have seen Lewis on the left side. This is a big moment here. Nadazhdin has to serve this ball in. He does, working on Como. Perfect pass. Lewis into the blocker, excuse me. That's Wexter into the block of Kawiakamoa. Covered. Maxwell on the left side. Down the line. Touched and a net violation by Phoenix. Rukkus gets the side out the second time of asking. Their lead is 3, 12-9. Thin, a dangerous jump serve right out of the middle. Dangerous to his team as well, it turns out, as he misses that one a tile or two out of bounds. Ascension's got to serve in, but not only do they have to serve in, they got to start serving a little bit tougher. This is Vaz into the block of Olsen to flex out of play. Pretty nice read by number 14, Mark Olsen. Not fooled by the approach path of Kevin Vaz. But a good high, hard swing. That sends Wexter back to the line, leading by 3, 13-10. That's a foot fault by Wexter called right away as that ball clipped the tape. Side out the easy way for Phoenix this time, and Lewis probably going to continue to opt with the float serve to keep the ball in play. See if he is an offensive option out of the back row in these next couple rotations. Vaz again tipped and picked up by a diving Itsugire really, really nicely. Kawiakamoa over the top, dug by Palos. Ascension's got to have this point. And they do. Kawiakamoa through a seam on the left side. And Phoenix boasting as good of an outside hitter pair as you're going to see in all of American volleyball. Joe Kawiakamoa and Serge Nadazhdin, those are the two guys offensively who are going to get Phoenix back into this match. Is there a touch on that Wexter attack out of bounds? No, there's not. And we are tied up all of a sudden here, folks, at 13 apiece. After Ascension looked all out of sorts early on in this set, we're right back level, competitive, where we belong here so far in this match. Tough pass by Maxwell. This will be Maxwell against two big blockers, and he's rejected by Olsen straight down. And Ascension now trying to steal some momentum back and forcing a Rukkus timeout. Ascension taking their first lead of the set at 14-13. Nice turnaround by the home team, Phoenix Ascension. We will be right back with more set number 3. Thanks for everyone in the YouTube chat watching live from all over the world right now. Make sure, if you're not already, to subscribe to this YouTube channel so that all the matches that go live all weekend long and all the highlight videos and my podcast episodes and all that stuff that comes out the next several weeks, that you won't miss anything. So subscribe here to our YouTube channel. It helps us out a lot. Lewis keeping this ball in play out of the timeout. Perfect hand pass by Maxwell. Through the block of Melcher and inside the end line. Off the deflection. Nice high swing by number 24 in black. And I like the offense that Jeff Schmitz is facilitating so far. Number 7 in black for Rukkus, formerly of both Ball State and UC Irvine. He's played at a lot of pretty high levels and runs an offense at a very quick tempo. I really like that. Nice crossbody cut shot by Olsen, beautifully disguised, and a diving Wexter can't make the play. Ascension clinging to a 1-point lead right now. Needing to continue to serve the ball in, but put a little bit more pressure on. Which serve will Kawiakamoa opt for, and who will he target? Vaz and Palos, the front row hitters right now for Rukkus, with Schmitz, the setter, up there. Nice work in the seam, handled by Palos. This is Palos against two big blockers. And he tools the block of Melcher down the line and out of play. Nice swing. That was a big side out that time for Rukkus to stay in this set. 15-15. Voss, a dangerous server back here. Trying to cut that one to the far sideline. He misses it wide. Serving sub in here. Number 20, BJ Hiapo, backup setter out of BYU, replacing Mark Olson to serve and play some defense. Thanen misses that one out of bounds, wrist away. And another huge break for Phoenix. They take a point on serve and a nice serving substitution used by Coach Stefan Brule. Another good pass, this time by Maxwell. This will be Wexter out of the back row. Down the line, dug by Hiapo. Can Melcher run this down? Yes, he can. Harrington out of the middle, no, though a terrible miss short into the net. Against no blockers. And Rukkus gets out of it after the tough pass. (16 serving 17). Schmitz back to the back row. Melcher dumped to the floor. Excellent dig and the read by Schmitz. Wexter against three blockers. Into the block and a dozen. He's rejected. Nice disciplined move that time by number 11 in purple. Nowhere for the high-flying Wexter to go that time. Melcher now the Ascension setter against Rukkus' rotation 1. Palos and Wexter flipping pins for this rotation only. Thanen, another hitting error out of bounds, wrist away, the exact same one as earlier. No touch detected, and a huge insurance point for the Phoenix Ascension, now leading by 3, 19-16. Wexter tipped in the block of Lewis, but covered by Wexter. Wexter with the windmill, again self-covered. That time high into the hands of Lewis. That ball was landing right on the sideline, sent over as a free ball. Ascension here, Nadazden tipped over the top, dug by a diving Schmitz. Palos way behind that ball. Nice dig by Lewis. Nadazden blocked but covered again. What a play by Schmitz to keep that one alive, and that's got to be a double contact. Yes, it is. And a crazy rally that time with all sorts of out-of-system swings, self-covers off of blocks. But eventually the ball handling error by Luis Palos gives Ascension a point and a 4-point lead. What a turnaround here in set number 3. Palos against two big blockers, high into the hands, dug by Melcher on the rundown. Nice play. This will be Nadazden way off the net. Can he keep this ball in? No, not quite. This set not over yet. 17 serving 20 and a tough rotation here for Phoenix. I definitely see this ball going to Nadazden on the right side. No, Harrington in the middle somehow sneaks it right through the block of Thanen and down. Lucky break that time for Phoenix. And they get out of a tough rotation and send a very good server in Nadazden back to the line. 4 points away from getting on the board here in this match and on the weekend. Trailing 2-0. But they've both been very tight so far. Right on the net, and a huge missed opportunity, a miscommunication between Lewis and Harrington. Right in between them, and the lefty and the righty, both their dominant hitting arms on that ball, and the miscommunication sent the ball into the net. That should be a free point every time on an overpass like that. Can Rukkus capitalize? Not that time as Thanen serves that ball out of play. Service substitution in here, number 6 in purple, CJ Suarez, and once again to serve for Taylor Harrington. We saw this at the end of the last set. See if CJ's warm enough to put in a jump spin serve. Looks like he is. The passers for Rukkus are standing way too far forward to handle this. Beautiful handle by Palos. Not great connection there between Schmitz and Wexter. Kawiakamo into the block and out of play off the pinballed hands of Kevin Vaz. And that's a big point on serve for Phoenix that time. 23-18 now just 2 points away from taking set number 3 after going down, I believe, 8-3 early on here in this set, Phoenix has turned it all the way around. They now lead by 5. Suarez again, kind of unleashing at that time, but missing well long. But a good job by Suarez coming in off the bench and getting 1 point on serve. That is about all you can ask for a service sub. If Rukkus is going to come back and win this set, it's going to be on this serve right here. Michael Wexter down by 4. Very dangerous. Handled beautifully by Itsugire. Kawayakamo over the top. A diving Palos makes the play. Maxwell into the block is covered. This will be Maxwell again against the one block of Lewis. High off the hands, run down by Nadazhdin. And another double contact called, and I think that's a good call. Came out a little bit weird out of the hands of Zach Melcher, and an unfortunate negation of a good defensive play on the Phoenix side. And there's 1 point on serve for Rukkus, now down only by 3. 20-23 now. Service error that time by Wexter into the tape, and now 4 set points coming up for the Phoenix Ascension on the doorstep of sending this thing to a 4th set. See if Brian Lewis can serve it out in style. Float serve working on Maxwell right on the net. So Maxwell a little bit ahead of that ball. Nice dig by Lewis. Kawayakamo swinging for the set. Dug by Wexter off the block touch. Oh, set in system by Vaz, but a really good block touch off Maxwell. Kawayakamo again, and absolutely rejected by Kaveen Vaz. What a move by number 27 in black, and 1 set point saved. Now 21-24, the serve of Liam Maxwell, the only thing standing between the Phoenix Ascension and a set 3 win. Good serve, beautiful pass by Kawayakamo, and hammered to the floor by Olsen. Outstanding piece of offense, and that's what Ascension have been missing all match long. They take set number 3 by a score of 25-20, and we have got more volleyball for you folks coming your way. Set number 4 between these two squads. A very competitive match so far. We'll be right back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Want to do it? Sure. Okay, so. All right, joining me on the mic during the break is Ascension captain, a VLA board member, has a guy who has a lot of fingerprints all over this weekend's event, Mr. Vince Sanzuki. What's up, man?
How's it going?
Welcome to the mic. I know you're flying around doing all sorts of crazy stuff right now. What are your thoughts, just high level, about the level of volleyball that we've seen so far this weekend? The guys are getting used to a pretty unique environment here in State Farm Stadium, and they came to play. What are your thoughts about your guys so far?
I think both sides of the ball are playing pretty hard, pretty aggressive. It took a little bit for our guys to get used to the environment, like you said, and just these ceilings are pretty high. I don't think you see anything like that in most volleyball gyms here in the United States. So. Probably even in the world, I don't know where else is playing in a stadium like this. But no, it's great environment and fantastic volleyball from both sides.
So talk to us about the relationship really quickly between us and the Volleyball Festival, the event that they're putting on all weekend long, giving us a space of court here on Friday night. This is going to be a great event all weekend, and the relationship between us, our league, and the festival goes pretty deep. So tell us about that really quickly.
Yeah, Volleyball Festival, it's a juniors tournament that it's a juniors organization, and they put on a handful of events, just grandiose like we've got right here. And we've been able to facilitate a pretty solid relationship between the two. Typically, we like to have a lot of the juniors players. It's usually a feature thing, kind of a treat for the younger players to come and watch us play. However, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, it's usually for them, but unfortunately, because of the circumstances surrounding COVID, we weren't able to have the juniors watch us this time. And but we were still fortunate enough to have Volleyball Festival lend us the facility for these two matches tonight.
And what a facility it is. Quickly, your thoughts on Rukkus coming out of VLA Tier 2 in their first action in the league. stealing the first 2 sets and looking really competitive so far. What are your impressions?
Oh, they're great. They're a really solid team, and we didn't expect anything less from them. And you got Wexter over there, and he's crushing balls, and Schmitz is just flowing pretty nicely. So I mean, they got a solid group of guys over there, and I mean they compete with anyone out here, and it's perfect representation of what we're trying to do with our Tier 2 division.
Perfect. You think your guys can take this one to set 5?
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. All right, thanks, Vince. Set number 4 coming your way here in just a second, guys. Thanks, Vince, for joining us. A lot more volleyball coming your way here, ladies and gentlemen. Set number 4 between the Ascension and Rukkus. I'm Rob St. Clair. Thanks again for joining us live on YouTube. This is not the end of the volleyball tonight. After this match, we'll have another match at 7:30 Mountain Time. That's just over an hour from right now. So 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. The Ascension will be back in action in the second leg of a back-to-back against another VLA Tier 2 squad, Team Irvine Xtreme. So you'll get a great look at them in the next match before we give you a full day of 4 matches tomorrow, which we are very excited about. So, again, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, and anyone you know who might be wanting to watch some volleyball this weekend, send our stuff their way. We'll be very, very active all weekend long. Rukkus starting serving here in set number 4 on the far side of your screen. It'll be Jeff Schmitz. Miscommunication on the pipe set. Easy free ball opportunity here for Rukkus. And Palos deflects it off the hands and way out of play. We will see how big a part of the offense Brian Lewis continues to be for the Phoenix Ascension. Service error that time. We'll send Zach Melcher back to the line. Now you should be able to see the match schedule for the rest of the weekend in the description of this YouTube video, and you'll notice 3 teams here this weekend. They will each play each other twice. So the Ascension and Rukkus will rematch tomorrow, I believe at 11 a.m. Is there a touch on that ball down the line? No, there is not. And a new face, actually 2 new faces into the match here for Rukkus. That time was number 14, Eric Jansen. The opposite, missing that one out of bounds down the line. This will be Jansen again, rolled over the top and dug by Kaliakamoa. Thrown by Nadazin into the block of Palos and can't quite be run down off the defensive effort. And a nice start here for Phoenix at 3 serving 1. Also into the match for Rukkus, number 2 in black, Nick Capricio. 6'5", 29-year-old out of NYU. Jansen again, cross court, dug by Itsagire. Nadazin over the block, dug by Maxwell. Jansen again, tipped into the block of Lewis, kept alive by Harrington, but not for long. And Rukkus finally gets out of rotation 1 to send Lewis Palos back to the line. So Capricio replacing Thanen, I believe, and Jansen replacing Wexter. So a little bit of a different look for Rukkus this set. Good float serve by Palos. Bump 31 attempted from Melcher to Harrington, but a good opportunity here in transition for Maxwell. Diving plays made by Melcher on the pancake. Lewis wanted to take a swing at that, but had to send over a free ball. Speaking of free balls, here for one that Phoenix absolutely has to have. Nadazin into the block. Nice cover. This is Jansen against 2 big blockers. Tipped down the line and no touch on its way out of bounds. Nicely read by Jesus Itsagire again. (4-2) the Ascension lead here early on set number 4. Rukkus leads 2-1. Ascension trying to fight back and force this thing to a 5th. Beautiful set by Schmitz, but absolutely roofed is Maxwell by Brian Lewis. It's an outstanding move by number 3 in purple with Taylor Harrington there as well. And if the Ascension block starts to come alive, you had better watch out. These guys can really get a lot of momentum from plays like that. Another set to Schmitz, and another block, that time thrown down by Lewis. No, that's a net violation called. I do not like that call. If Lewis touched the net, it was outside the antenna, which is a legal play. Oh, that is not a good call if it stands. Maxwell's momentum was pushed outside the antenna by the set that time. He tipped it over, and it looked to be thrown down by Brian Lewis, whose momentum also carried him outside the antenna. And any net violation, like any net touch by a player outside the antenna, does not count as a violation. And that's going to stay Rukkus' point, and that is not a good call. Ascension got to shake that one off. Now 5-3 the score. Perfect pass by Itsugire. Kawiakamoa threw a very small seam in the block and out of the reach of the diving Palos. Jansen on the right side, a pretty good block touch by Kawiakamoa, but Harrington diving couldn't quite keep it in play. And number 14 in black, Eric Jansen, 6'7", opposite out of Grand Canyon University here in Phoenix. Already getting a lot of hitting attempts here early on in set number 4 in his first action on the weekend. Perfect pass by Itsugire again. Olsen cross body, and he's rejected by Vaz. Another outstanding one-on-one read by number 27 in black, and Rukkus is right back into this thing. Trailing by 1 at 5 serving 6. Jansen, perfect pass again by Itsugire. Tipped out of the middle by Olsen. Kept alive, a free ball at best here. Olsen to Melcher. Nadazden, the connection not there on the pipe. Free ball here for Rukkus. Palos tipped out of the pipe again. A diving Itsugire makes the play. Tight ball, another dig by Itsugire. He is everywhere. Where does Schmitz go here? Maxwell on the left side. Another dig by Jesus. And Kawiakamoa lights up Jansen down the line. And that point absolutely belongs to Jesus Itsugire. That was at least 3 tremendous digs, maybe even 4 in one rally. That is just amazing. Ascension back up 7-5. Vaz into the block of Olsen. Another dig by Itsugire. Kawiakamoa down the line, dug by Jansen, but way out of play. This will be a free ball at best. Phoenix has got to have this one. Olsen, Melcher, Kawiakamoa, and he puts it away. And absolutely all the momentum on the Phoenix Ascension side right now, and give them credit. Because after that missed call against Brian Lewis, that they could have easily let that slip away. But here's a Rukkus timeout. Down now 8-5, a 3-point deficit here in set number 4. Ascension looking pretty nice on their way to forcing a set 5 for the Phoenix Ascension. What a match here we have, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with more set number 4. Big shout-outs, by the way, to AVB Network. If you're not following them on Instagram, you're crazy. Any headlines, any big stuff in any American volleyball anywhere, men's, women's, college, pros, whatever, follow at AVB_network on Instagram. They're also on YouTube. They are also newly on Twitter. So big shout-outs to them and their support of the VLA. We appreciate them using their platform to share our stuff. And a really good match here to kick off the weekend. Brian Lewis for the Ascension, serving out of the timeout up by 3. Good touch by Melcher. Basically a free ball here. Kawiakamoa absolutely destroyed cross court. That might have been inside the 10-foot line. What a swing by number 8 in purple. And an outstanding block touch by Zach Melcher set it up. Talk about momentum, man. Volleyball is such a momentum-based game, and Ascension firmly in control of it right now. Jansen again, high off the fingertips of Kawiakamoa and out of play, and a very important restorative swing that time for Rukkus. They trail 6-9. Maxwell serving quietly, having himself a really nice match so far. And of course, the commentator's curse, he misses that one a little bit long. Kawiakamoa really heating up lately, going for the jump spinner. Nice pass by Como. Jansen, did he get a touch on his way out of bounds? No, he did not. And Rukkus has got to be very careful about letting Kawiakamoa heat up his jump serve. If he gets a couple opportunities to go on a run, he is extremely dangerous. Of course, right on cue, misses that one just out of bounds. There's AVB Network in the chat at American Volleyball there. They make a great point. Everybody please press the like button on this YouTube stream. It seriously helps us out in the YouTube algorithm, pushing this volleyball content past just our immediate subscribers. So that would be huge if everybody, if you're not already subscribed, definitely subscribe to this channel. And if you're watching, hit that like button. It's not just a meme at this point. It's actually a thing that helps us out a lot. Here's Olsen serving again for Phoenix. They lead by 5, 12-7. Palos crushed down the line. A nice read by Kawiakamoa, but couldn't quite be kept alive. Schmitz serving here for Rukkus. A big front row of blockers with Capricio, Palos, and Jansen. Where does Melcher go here? Lewis out of the back row into the block of Palos. Was there a touch? No, there was not. That was declared to be all tape and no arms. So 4 contacts the call, and Rukkus takes the point on serve. Those plays are sometimes tough to call, but I thought that was correct that time. At least Lewis was able to take a swing at that one. That's a good sign for Phoenix, honestly. Kawiakamoa out of the pipe. Nice dig by Como's hands. And a setting mistake that time by Palos. Way out of bounds on the Phoenix side, if not also a double contact. 13-9 Phoenix. Melcher back to the service line. See which serve he goes for. He's going to continue with the float serve to keep it in. And thrown to the floor that time by Nadazhdin. Smart play to wait for that ball to get to the plane of the net. If he had reached over and touched it before it got in there, it would have been Rukkus' point. But another point on serve for Phoenix as Melcher continues. This is Jansen on the left side into the block of Lewis, but kept alive. Tipped over by Capricio, but dug by Itsagire. Harrington into the block is covered. Nadazhdin high off the hands, dug by Schmitz. Palos is rejected by Harrington. But I believe that's going to be Rukkus' point, as I guess that ball either out of bounds or on the Ascension side. Honestly, I'm not sure what happened with that ball. But no argument from Harrington, so Rukkus takes the point. Nadazhdin there receiving one-handed set by Melcher, but a nice touch down the line by Como. Free ball here. Nadazhdin again, another dig by Como down the line. And thrown into the block of Nadazhdin and in on the Rukkus side. So the stuff block is good by number 11 in purple. And in that rotation, man, Serge Nadazhdin is just putting the team on his back. 15-10. A nice confident performance here by the Ascension, looking to force set 5. That's got to be a double contact. No way is that not called, but kept alive by Nadazhdin. That ball just out of bounds. A nice call and a beautiful play by Kawiakamoa, throwing that ball into the block and redirecting it out of bounds just wide of the sideline. Well watched by Jesus Itsagire, who has been awesome so far. Nadazhdin again. Just over the tape, had to be handled by Schmitz. This will be Jansen way out of system against 3 blockers. Rolled over and dug by Nadazhdin. Surge out of the pipe. Did he get the touch off the block? Yes, he did. Now 17-10. Phoenix really starting to fire on all cylinders here. And Rukkus kind of searching for some answers inside out. Sending Michael Wexer and Jacob Thanen, to the bench has proved to suffer on the Rukkus offensive side as that serve barely missed by Nadazhdin out of bounds. This will be Capricio, Huntington Beach native. Float serve working on Itzagire's hands. Lewis on the right side, destroyed down the line. And that's what Phoenix has been missing the entire match long. Just a springy and explosive left arm of number 3 in purple, Brian Lewis. That is just great to see. And another use of the same service substitution, number 6 in purple, CJ Suarez, replacing Taylor Harrington. 18-11 for Phoenix. We might be well on our way here to set number 5. Good serve by Suarez down the line. Good pass by Maxwell. Free ball sent over by Olsen, but he is rejected on the overpass swing by Kevin Vaz. Another block for number 27 in black, who is absolutely everywhere in the blocking area of the game in this match. We'll see if Rukkus can pass the ball well enough these next few rotations to get Vaz involved in the offense. That's something they've been missing the past set and a half or so. This is Jansen with the jump spinner, working on Nadazhdin. Perfect pass. Tipped into the block by Kaliakamoa, but kept alive on the Phoenix side. One-handed set to Olsen, but he's dug by Palos. Itzagiro will set this ball out of system to Lewis against one blocker. Cross court and off of Palos and out of play. And now finally Brian Lewis starting to find a rhythm for the Phoenix Ascension. Nice second setter hands that time by Itzagiri, actually generating a one-on-one from the libero setting spot. A pretty rare occurrence there. Schmitz to Jansen down the line and just barely long, but a touch is called. A touch off the block called by our up official. And no complaint by the Ascension, so a good swing by Jansen utilizing the fingertips. The Ascension lead is 6, 13 serving 19. Liam Maxwell again. See if he goes to that space in Kaliakamoa's left. No, working on Itzagire. Perfect pass again. Lewis out of the back row. Tried to pull that one down the line, but missed it short into the tape and the antenna. So another point on serve for Rukkus as they try to claw their way back into this thing. Just out of bounds that time by Maxwell. Well watched by Nadazhdin. 20-14. If Kaliakamoa can get 1 or 2 points on serve here for Phoenix, I think this set is all but over. Perfect pass by Como. Jansen out of the back row, dug by Lewis, but can't quite keep it in play. And a really nice swing that time by number 14 in black. Showing some range out of that D-ball spot, and at 6'7", high contact point. Jansen, a big physical athlete there on the right pin for Rukkus. Beautiful pass by Nadazhdin off a pretty tough serve. He'll get this ball on the left side, over the top of the block of Schmitz and down, and that is definitely an offensive mismatch that Melcher and Phoenix will like to exploit. Schmitz, the much shorter blocker, at only about 6'2" against the 6'7" Serge Nadazhdin. Nice quick offense sets up the mismatch, and another service sub here, this time BJ Hiapo. Actually, Joe Kaliakamoa's older cousin. They played together briefly at BYU. Palos over the block, dug by Kaliakamoa. This is Melcher. Kaliakamoa out of the pipe, a little miscommunication there. A diving Como makes the defensive play. And there's a big stuff block by Taylor Harrington. To put an exclamation point on that rally. Hiapo back to the line again. Timeout here from Rukkus, trying to salvage any bit of momentum before the likely inevitable set 5 comes your way. And I actually like this timeout. Volleyball is such a momentum-based game that even though Rukkus probably not going to win this set, any amount of momentum that they can grab heading into set 5 could matter a lot. Head coach Shannon Slatter, assistant coach Mark Descharme, heading up the Rukkus crew this weekend. Those two big names that have been everywhere in the volleyball world. (22-15) now. Ascension with the lead. Hiapo continuing to serve out of the timeout. Rukkus in rotation 6, with Capricio and Palos, the front row hitters, along with Schmitz, the setter. Palos high into the hands of Melcher. Really nice block touch. Not a great touch by Nadazhdin that time, and a dump attempt by Melcher out of bounds with no touch. So a good timeout there by Rukkus, getting the point right away, but they still trail by 6, with Schmitz with a lot of work to do from the service line to get his team back into this set. But like I said, any amount of momentum going into set 5 could be huge. Nadazhdin down the line. Nice touch by Jansen, keeps it alive. Ascension asking about a back row attack violation call, but a nice run there to Kawiakamoa, finally connecting out of the pipe. Puts that away through the block. And what Ascension was asking for there is seeing if Garrett Komisarek, or Como, number 21 in Reds, foot was over the line as he jumped to overhand set that ball and have his teammate attack it above the level of the tape. It's a part of the rules if you're going to wear the libero jersey against being kind of a front row setter sort of player. Jansen tipped into the block of Lewis, and a smart use as it goes harmlessly out of play on the Rukkus side. 17-23, though, still a very comfortable lead here for Ascension, needing only 2 side outs to force this thing to 5. Another bick to Kawiakamoa, but nice dig by Como again. Maxwell tipped into the block and Nadazhdin and kept alive on the Rukkus side. Maxwell again, dug by Melcher. Nadazhdin crushed through a seam, and another outstanding set by Jesus Itzagirre to set up set point for the Phoenix Ascension, 24-17. A commanding lead here in set number 4. See if Nadazhdin, who has been the offensive workhorse all match long, can serve this thing out in style. Brilliant pass by Como that time. And a stuff block is going to do it. An excellent read by Taylor Harrington with Kawiakamoa there as well. And 25-17. A dominant performance by the Phoenix Ascension in set 4, and we are going 5, ladies and gentlemen. The first match of the weekend is headed to a tiebreaker. A quick sprint to 15 points is going to decide this first match. This is going to be good. Don't go anywhere for the exciting conclusion. Thanks. Set number 5, a quick sprint tiebreak to only 15 points between SoCal's Rukkus and the Phoenix Ascension. I'm Rob St. Clair. Thanks again for joining us live on the VLA YouTube channel. The teams will switch sides when the first team reaches 8, but the win by 2 rule, of course, still applies, even in a quick set to 15. Everything magnified in such a quick set. Every service ace, every block, every hitting error, so much more important. Nadazhdin tipped into the block and just out of bounds on the Ascension side. Well watched by Itzagire. And Phoenix on the board first. You see Jacob Thanen back into the match here for Rukkus, but continuing with Jansen at the opposite spot. Great set by Schmitz, and a brilliant put away by Palos on the right side down the line. That was an outstanding set. Schmitz getting all the way down, pretty much to his backside on the floor. And Palos wrist away off the shoulders of the block and down the line. Nice piece of offense there. Tied up at 1. Oh, not a good float service there that time by Palos, trying to go too short. I guess I like the attempt, trying to take Nadazhdin out of the offense there in rotation 1, knowing that he's the go-to guy on the right side. We got to serve that ball in, and here is Nadazhdin with a 1-point lead. Another service error, going for the hybrid that time, the spin toss and the float serve contact, but a little bit too short. Good serve that time by Thanen, but an even better pass. This is Lewis on the right side. Off the block of Maxwell out of play, and that is the Brian Lewis that we're used to seeing. Connection between Lewis and Melcher is back like it never left. A nice side out there, sends Taylor Harrington back to the line. Got to serve this ball in. He does. Perfect hand pass by Palos. This is Jansen on the right side into the block, and not able to be kept alive off the block touch in the deep cross-court corner. Nice high swing by number 14 in black that time. Eric Jansen having a nice impact since entering the match in set number 4. Serve way out of bounds that time by Jansen. Not a very good toss. Rotation 4 receive here for Jeff Schmitz and Team Rukkus. We'll see if he sets Kevin Vaz up for a perfect pass this time. Oh, what an outstanding choice on the center dump. That was brilliant by Schmitz. Nobody in the gym, myself included, expected that one. Four now. Good serve by Maxwell. Passed right on the net by Nadazhdin. Another center dump, this time picked up by Rukkus. Tipped down the line by Palos. Melcher can run this down. A really nice set all the way to the outside to Kawiakamoa. Can Jansen run this down? No, not quite. A diving Como and a diving Schmitz can't quite keep it alive. And that was an outstanding set by number 15 in purple, Zach Melcher, throwing that ball with absolutely no spin all the way across State Farm Stadium here. Kawiakamoa, who's really heated up the last set and a half or so with a good jump serve, but an even better pass. Vaz a little bit overset. Just fingertips on that ball. Olsen out in transition. Another dig by Como. Oh, and a free ball kill. Jansen locates that set over perfectly out of the reach of a diving Brian Lewis, and a missed opportunity for the Phoenix Ascension after Schmitz and Vaz couldn't quite connect in that first side-out attempt. 5-5. This is anybody's set here so far in set number 3. Set number 5, excuse me, the tiebreaker. Kevin Vaz serving for Rukkus, number 27 in black. Can be dangerous back there. See who he goes after. Apparently goes after the Ascension bench, as that serve wasn't even close. Another service sub here for the Ascension. BJ Hiapo coming in again to replace Mark Olson. Those service subs have really paid dividends for Ascension the last couple sets. Those guys have come in, both Hiapo and Suarez, come in to put in good float serves and play some good defense. Nice serve down the line, working on Palos. Over the top of the block, down the line. Is there a touch? No, there is not. No touch called off the swing of Palos, and the first 2-point lead of the set belongs to the Phoenix Ascension, 1 point away from forcing the side change. Palos again into the block, but in a really nice cover. Not for long, though. The brilliant cover by Garrett Komisarek goes by the wayside as it falls harmlessly on the Rukkus side, and now Ascension at 8-5. The teams will change sides. Is this 3-point lead going to be good enough to hold up for the Ascension for 7 more points? Or will Rukkus come back and send it to extras? We will see. Hiapo again working on Palos down the line. Perfect pass. Palos, sharp cross court. What a rip that is by number 10 in black. That was brilliant piece of offense. Beautiful delivery from Schmitz, of course, and he goes back to serve here as the service sub is undone on the Ascension side. The Dawson into the block of Thanem and kept alive. Tipped over the top, and a diving Maxwell can't quite make the play. That is a really smart and intentional choice that time by Serge Nadazda, knowing he's got a big double block on him as Rukkus calls timeout here down by 3. Players at this level are not afraid of the block. They hit the ball into the block, into the high parts of the block on purpose, either with the intention to cover it back easily on their side or to hit it really hard off the fingertips to deflect out a play and score. That is a piece of vision and reaction that hitters at this high of a level absolutely have, and I think that they go for intentionally. You saw it that time from Nadazdan triggering the sort of recycle on the Ascension side. And a lot of tipping being done this match, maybe a little bit too much for my liking, but that one scores for Nadazdan to trigger the Rukkus timeout. It'll be 9 serving 6 out of the timeout after Phoenix went down 2-0, losing 23-25 in both sets 1 and 2. It would be a heck of a comeback story if they were able to bring this thing all the way back. Palos on the right side, absolutely smoked down the line, and another outstanding set by Jeff Schmitz. Palos is really putting the team on his back offensively right now, as is Nadazdan for Phoenix. See if that's where Melcher goes in this rotation. No, way out of system. This will be a free ball at best, but has to be taken by Smith. Smart free ball by Kali Akamoa. Jansen, what a swing that is against 3 blockers. A terrific put away by number 14 in black, who's done some really nice things since coming on for Rukkus in set number 4. And SoCal is right back in this thing at 8 serving 9. Palos again with the floater against Phoenix's rotation 1. Excellent serve. Lewis on the left side and beautifully wrist away down the line. That is a huge swing for number 3 in purple, Brian Lewis. Big play there, as it's the difference between 10-8 and all tied up at 9. So Nadazdan back to serve a 2-point lead again for Phoenix. But a nice job by Rukkus getting back within 1.5 points effectively. Oh, what a block that is by Brian Lewis. Stuffed Maxwell absolutely straight down. And that hard-earned point by Rukkus erased quickly by the straight down stuff block of Brian Lewis, the opposite. And Nadazdan again now 11 serving 8. Oh, is that an inadvertent whistle call? Yeah, I think it is. That was a pretty good-looking serve by Thanen. And our up official thought he saw a foot fault, but none called by the line judge, so it's going to be a replay, no point awarded. Still 9-11 for Rukkus. Oh, and the tiny bit of delay forces the service error as Thanen waves thank you to our up official. Kind of a weird sequence there, and now another serving sub. CJ Suarez coming back in to replace Taylor Harrington and serve for the Ascension. 12-9. The home team here on the doorstep of an incredible reverse 3-0 comeback if they can pull off 3 more points. There's one side out for Rukkus on the service error of Suarez straight off the bench, where he will now return. And now Jansen, who's been very good since coming in last set, with a big opportunity serving here for Rukkus. Keeps that one in play, working on Itagire. Kawiakamoa through a small seam in the block between Schmitz and Vaz and puts it away. And another smooth side out by the Phoenix Ascension, needing only 2 more to win this match. The server Brian Lewis here is going to force the Rukkus passers all the way up to try and hand pass this float serve. Good pass by Maxwell. Is that ball in on the end line? No. Hit out of bounds by Kevin Vaz. Maybe a tiny bit underset, and now 4 match points here for the Phoenix Ascension. What a turnaround this would be. Brian Lewis looking to serve it out in style. Vaz again deflects off the inside arm of Mark Olsen, now to play. So 1 match point saved. But now Maxwell needing 3 points in a row on his serve to send this match to extra points. Rotation 4 receive here for Phoenix, needing 1 to win the match. Good pass by Kawiakamoa. Kawiakamoa is absolutely roofed by Vaz. With authority, number 27 closes the door, and this match is not over yet. Maxwell again. 12-14 now. Where does Melcher go here? Another good serve. Oh, a setter dump, and that is it. What a great choice by Zach Melcher, and Ascension completes the comeback. What a match that was. 23-25, 23-25, 25-21, 25-17, and 15-12 in the 5th. What a match. That is just a fantastic way to kick off the weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching that fantastic matchup between the Phoenix Ascension and SoCal's Rukkus. And fortunately for you all, we will be right back in 30 minutes. Only 30 minutes of a turnaround for our next match. The Phoenix Ascension will be right back at it. A test of their depth and endurance against Tier 2's Irvine Xtreme, the team I'm very excited to get a look at this evening. So a lot more volleyball coming your way. I'm going to really quickly grab an interview here on stream with one of the Ascension guys before we cut it. And we will be right back in half an hour. Thanks, everyone, so much for joining us. Let's talk to one of the Ascension guys. All right, Brian, come on over here, man. Brian Lewis of the Phoenix Ascension, ladies and gentlemen. Dude, what a match. I can see you sweating all the way through your face mask. That was incredible. You guys go down 25-23, 25-23, the first 2 very tight and competitive sets. And I mean, just look at this place. Getting used to it, getting everybody's rhythm took a little while, and that I think was apparent between you and Zach. Kind of that right side offense took a little while to develop. But once set 3 started, it was a different team out there. What was the conversation? And even you, I think you went down 8-3 in set 3 before exploding back into this match, and taking that comeback with in reverse 3-0 fashion was incredibly impressive. So just kind of talk me through the flow. Sets 1 and 2, the beginning of the comeback, and the changes that you guys made along the way.
Sure. Yeah. Sets 1 and 2, we got down early in both, but we knew that those big deficits at the beginning were kind of our downfall in those first 2 sets because we found a really good rhythm midway through. Yeah. So I mean, we finished both of those, I think, losing -2. So going into that third, even with the slow start, we knew what their offense was doing. It was becoming very predictable for us to read. And I think our block tightened up and defense behind the block was huge. So we were able to just transition a lot more. We were getting huge contributions from both of our outsides, and our middles were stepping up big time. So regardless that me and Zach had a little misfire on rhythm, I mean, everyone else was firing on all cylinders, and Jesus in the back was just picking up everything. So just being able to slow down the ball in their offense and transition led to big points for us.
Totally agree, and I give Jesus a ton of credit, like you said. I think that, like, at least when I was watching you guys last summer and over the past several years, tell me if you agree with this, kind of the identity of your team is that block and defense that you talked about. You guys have an amazing ability to turn those block touches and incredible defensive plays into points for your team. And I think you already said that was kind of the case in this one. So what do you think was really the difference offensively for you guys? You were missing maybe one piece at a time throughout the match. By the end of the match, it was all there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we kind of etched out who our go-to guys were. And just, again, the ability for us to stay in system and our middles pull theirs, and leaving just a one-on-one on the pins is just an advantage to us almost every single time. When you got guys like Joe and Serge out there, I mean, I'm going to take them any day on a one-to-one battle. So, again, I think it came down to us just being super locked in and serve-receive and just remaining in system. And, again, everything off the block touches, just sealing, communication from where we were, hands being across. I mean, we've been training this hard for the past few months now. I mean, you've been to a couple of our practices. You see how intense they are. And, I mean, everything that we train is exactly what we did right there. So yeah, I think that was the difference maker for us to come back from being 0-2 to win that 3-2.
Well, congratulations again. Very impressive. And you're right about the way you guys practice. You train this stuff all the time. Last but not least, how are you feeling? How's your body holding up?
You know what, man? Once we get into game time, you don't feel anything. You know what I mean? So whatever aches and pains are there, adrenaline kicks in, and the focus is really what kind of takes over. So, you know, we'll recover, and we'll be ready to go for the next one.
Well, the adrenaline was felt through all of us watching here on the sidelines and watching on the live stream as well. That was an awesome match that you put on for the people. Congratulations again, and good luck in the next one, man. Thanks. All right, Xtreme, thanks a lot, boys. Incredible match between Ascension and Rukkus. We'll be right back in literally half an hour, which is amazing, with more live volleyball between Team Irvine Xtreme, who's getting warm right behind us, and the Phoenix Ascension going again right back at it. So stay tuned for that. Again, I'm Rob St. Clair. More VLA volleyball coming your way all weekend long. We'll see you for the next one.
On? Because we were talking the whole time, so.